Welcome. And hello to everyone for taking their time today to join us on Season Speaks, a virtual series that we are celebrating every month. And thank you for joining us for this month's topic of good food for a good mood. I'm Mary Beth Greger. I'm the Senior Director of Sales at Seasons Retirement Communities, and I will be your host today. So, for background, Seasons is a Canadian retirement home operator that was established in 2009. We operate 22 retirement communities in Ontario and Alberta, with more in progress. We have proudly created a culture that is dedicated to providing the residents with superior customer service. And we always want our residents to be proud to call us home and know that they're surrounded by people that genuinely care about them. So today I am excited to be joined by Carol Donovan, who will be leading our webinar topic, Good Food for a Good Mood. Carol Donovan is a registered dietitian, chair of the Dietitians of Canada Board of Directors, and president of Seniors Care Dietitian Network. Her hunger for combining excellent dining, hospitality experiences with her clinical nutritional expertise makes Carol a unique, dynamic, and innovative leader in our industry. As a registered dietitian for over 35 years, Carol's passion for seniors nutrition and her food first philosophy has put her at the forefront of her practice. Carol is an industry leader who promotes advocacy for seniors and dietitians alike. So today, Carol's going to help you learn how to make good food choices and get the pleasure and enjoyment at meal times that we all desire. She will share with you some tips for healthy eating as we age and information about the commitment Seasons Retirement Communities has made to offer you a variety of delicious, well-balanced, and healthy food choices. But first, Carol's going to walk us through the agenda for today.
Thank you, Mary Beth, for that warm welcome. And I'm so glad that everybody has taken the time to join us today. I really wish we could all be physically together today because I would have brought you chocolate. Because most people love chocolate, of course. And as dietitians, we believe that eating chocolate is something we should all do. And that's all food should be enjoyed. So today I want to talk to you about good food that will put you in a good mood. And I hope today you can leave our webinar with more informed food choices and some ideas on how to improve your daily food choices. So during today's presentation, as outlined on this agenda, I will cover the background of Seasons Care Dietitian Network and describe what it means to be a registered dietitian. And I'll discuss the importance of nutrition and guide you through Canada's food guide recommendations. Before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about my company, which is called Seasons Care Dietitian Network. So we're different from Mary Beth's company, but we have the same name. Only ours has Seasons Care in it. So I'm a registered dietitian, as Mary Beth told you. I'm the president of this company, and I'm the chair of the board of directors of Dietitians of Canada. So obviously, I'm very passionate about working with older adults and helping to improve their nutritional well-being. So I had the opportunity to start building this company about 25 years ago. And the good news is now I'm heading towards retirement and the company's being run by my son and my daughter. The other good news is we are the largest dietitian company in Canada, and we specialize in aging and senior nutrition and good nutrition for older adults. We really like to have a good food, good mood approach to eating, as we believe eating should be a pleasure, a celebration, and overall enjoyable. So our job when we go into a home is to make sure that it is that way. Because when you feel good, then your mood is good. And when your mood is good, your health is good. And it actually all works together. Our services are many. Our company focuses again on nutrition for older adults. We service retirement living, long-term care, with both on-site and virtual services. It's our job when we go to a home to ensure that government regulations are being met. So we've created processes, policies, and procedures to ensure that there's good menus, excellent meal service, and safe food quality set out within the standards that we have. We also do a lot of recruitment. We recruit for dietitians, dietary service managers, and food service staff for both the long-term care and the retirement industry. And of late, we're doing a lot of private practice virtually, so we can provide people that have questions with answers online. I think it's really important for you to understand what a registered dietitian is. Sometimes you can get really mixed messages on social media and in the news about nutrition and diets. Many people claim to be experts in nutrition, but actually, only registered dietitians are truly trained to give evidence based nutrition counseling. There are many fad diets out there and many foods that people claim to be miracle cures. Dietitians can help you know the truth about the food you eat and help you see through any myths. We are motivated, keen scientists, and we are ready to help you. Did you know that it takes 5 years minimum to become a dietitian? And that's just 2 years less than a doctor. And did you know that there are over 15,000 dietitians practicing across Canada? Each and every dietitian must meet annual licensing expectations, and many of us belong to Dietitians of Canada, which is our member association. Dietitians work in all areas of food and healthcare services. Some work with policy development with the government, food manufacturing, clinical services in a hospital per se, media, education, sales, just to name a few. They're everywhere these days. So, of course, nutrition is really important. Eating helps improve our energy levels, our mental health, and our focus. And food fuels our brains. We also get pleasure and enjoyment from eating. So healthy eating is for everyone, including you. And healthy eating, we know, and we have research that tells us it can prevent or manage many diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, osteoporosis, and cancer. But sometimes there are some barriers to nutritional care. And so, as dietitians, our primary goal is to get people to eat and enjoy their food so they enjoy their quality of life. But as we age, sometimes nutritional needs change, and different aging issues can affect our ability to remain well nourished. As we age, we should ensure that we have a dietitian as part of our personal healthcare team. Just like you have a doctor or a dentist, it's good to have a dietitian at your fingertips as well, because they are trained to assess your individual needs and subsequently set up effective interventions that work for you personally. Again, I give you the same message, and I'll continue to give you the same message for this whole presentation. Good food will put you in a good mood, and eating is very simple. So, we're going to talk about the simplicity of eating. I think Canada's Food Guide is a tremendous, simple tool that you can use to guide what you eat in a day. It's a helpful tool. It's just a tool used to prevent malnutrition and lower the risk of chronic disease. So it's evidence based, it's based on evidence research. And in the past, Canada's Food Guide was very prescriptive, and it would recommend so many servings of this food group each day. And it was sort of difficult to meet the guidelines that were set out in the tool. So the good news is it was revised and re-released in 2019, and now advocates for a more balanced approach to eating for Canadians. For overall basics, it's looking at this plate model that you see before you. And you see on the plate that there's mostly fruits and vegetables. Half the plate is fruit and vegetables, a quarter of the plate is protein rich foods, and the other quarter of the plate is whole grain foods. And it's just that simple. That's the model that they've put forward. There's no numbers that you have to reach in a day. It outlines the foods that an individual will need to meet their nutrient, vitamin, and mineral needs every day. And the good news about Canada's Food Guide is it's applicable to all ages. So, as you can see, half the plate was fruits and vegetables. And why is that? Well, fruits and vegetables are very rich in fiber, in vitamins, and minerals, including vitamin C and flavonoids. A well balanced diet includes a variety of flavors and textures. And when you eat a good quantity of fruit and vegetables, you can reduce the risk of heart disease and certain cancers. And again, that's evidence based research. Vitamin C foods, such as oranges and other citrus fruits, can reduce stress and boost the immune system. The intake of vitamins can help lower your cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and blood pressure during high anxiety situations. So you need to eat a good source of citrus foods in your mix of fruits and vegetables every day as well. Flavonoids are chemicals that are in fruits and vegetables, and they're the chemical that's responsible for giving them color. So they act as antioxidants and they have an anti inflammatory property and they help boost your immune system. So, again, everything here that I'm telling you is evidence based. So, half your plate is fruit and vegetables. A quarter of your plate needs to be whole grain foods. And by whole grain foods, I mean foods like oats, quinoa, brown rice, whole grain pastas, and whole grain breads and baked goods. A balanced diet will include whole grain foods. And you hear often on social media and in the news to avoid carbohydrates. No, they're really important foods for you. They're a great source of energy. They're high in fiber, they're high in vitamins and minerals. They actually help stabilize your blood sugar levels so you don't go up and down and get that hangry feeling that you can get without eating them. And what that is, when you're feeling hangry or uncomfortable or agitated, you probably haven't eaten a balanced diet, and that can cause a dip in your blood sugar levels. They're also a great source of B vitamins. So make sure that you look at fiber and you choose high fiber foods as well, because that also will help to stabilize your blood sugar levels. And B vitamins are really important for the nervous system and the production of neurotransmitters. So, one of the main points simple, keep it simple again. Choose whole grain foods over refined carbohydrates, and that can actually lower your risk of stroke, colon cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Then protein foods. The next quarter of the plate is to eat protein-rich foods. And what I mean by protein-rich foods, and probably most of you know this, that's things like eggs, lean meats and poultries, nuts and seeds, fish and shellfish, and lower fat dairy products like milk, yogurt. There's no such thing as yogurt, and lower sodium cheese or just plain cheese, not so fancy all the time. You can have that once in a while, but keep it basic. Now, another thing that this new Canada's Food Guide has really promoted is plant-based protein, and they're encouraging you to use that more often than meats and fish and poultry. And what they mean by plant-based protein are things like peas, beans, and lentils, or tofu, or soy beverages, and protein is so important because it's the building block for our cells and our tissues and our organs and our enzymes and even our hormones. So, protein helps you to form antibodies, and they're a natural form of protection um, against infection. So, I think it's really important, especially as you're aging, that you get a good solid protein source at each and every meal and also at every snack if possible. And if you're going to experiment with plant based, that's going to help you to lower your saturated fat and lower cholesterol overall. So, as I said just a minute ago, keep it simple. Good protein intake is crucial, especially as we age. and it really does help you with things that you won't even see on the outside but are going on the inside, like cell regeneration, cell repair, and healing and retaining muscle integrity, which is crucial as we age. So the beverage of choice that they have suggested in Canada's Food Guide is water. It's the suggested drink of choice. And they encourage you to drink as much as possible, to aim for about 2 or 3 liters a day. But they're recommending a minimum of 6 cups per day. And in that recommendation, they're saying try to stay away from sugary beverages such as pop because they just contribute empty calories, and just focus on having clear water. And if you are having a hard time with clear water, just drinking water, there's lots of ways you can doctor it up and make it more enjoyable, by adding an infusion of your favorite fruit, or getting a really cool drinking glass that encourages you to have a sip every time you go by, or try some decaffeinated products like tea or coffee that you really enjoy. And nowadays with Keurigs, there's all kinds of different products out there, decaffeinated and caffeinated, that'll get your fluid levels up. And don't forget, a lot of, if you're doing the balance thing with eating the plate as has been suggested with lots of fruits and vegetables, they're a good source of water as well. So being hydrated as we age is crucial, and water is your best choice. So overall, it's really all about balance. Canada's Food Guide is simple, but it doesn't just talk about those food groups. It tells you to eat more fruits and vegetables. It says to limit your processed foods and your sugar intake, but it also encourages you to maintain a healthy weight. And that's important. And to have everything in moderation. There's really no food that shouldn't be allowed. It's really up to you as an individual. And the other thing I like about the new Canada's Food Guide is it promotes um, the socialization and the importance of food in our lives. It's not just the food that we eat, it's where we eat it, who we eat it with, when we eat it, in what setting. It's all about the whole big picture, and that's what makes you feel good. So, again, good food will give you a good mood. If you want to know more about Canada's Food Guide, there's an excellent website you can go to, and it's here on the slide. And you can have access to this um, presentation later and look it up. But you can just go to Canada's Food Guide, Google it, and you can get all kinds of information. There's also great information at Dietitians of Canada. And of course, we're always just an email away at Seasons Care Dietitian Network if you want to talk to us directly. We love to have conversations. So that's it for Canada's Food Guide. You've just got to keep it that simple. But let's talk now about another thing. Let's talk about the retirement home community specifically. So I'm going to turn it over to Mary Beth for a couple of quick questions.
I What a great takeaway, Carol. I mean, I was thinking when you said food is love and social on top of nutrition, and I think that is such an important part of what we do at Seasons, but also thinking about, that's a piece that's been missing for a lot of us right now, right? So before we move on to our next session, she wants to test your knowledge on nutrition with a pop quiz. So a couple questions for you. Are there laws in Ontario that govern what foods need to be served in retirement homes? And are there laws in Ontario that govern how the food in retirement homes is to be prepared? So we'll give you a little bit of time to think about that. And we're happy to walk you through the Retirement Home Act and how it actually um, contributes to what we do at Seasons and in retirement communities. So I'll pass it back to Carol.
Yeah, thanks for that, Mary Beth. But after today, you're going to be aware that there is, as Mary Beth said, a Retirement Home Act in Ontario. And in Seasons retirement communities, They're committed to providing service that exactly as it's outlined in the retirement home regulations. And the act is in place to protect residents of the home and to provide clear guidance to all the staff of the home. So let's look at the first area in the regulations. It's about food preparation. So they very clearly spell out in the act that food is to be handled in ways to prevent contamination and foodborne illnesses, that appropriate temperatures must be maintained, that good hand hygiene must be practiced at all times, that any dishes, utensils, equipment are properly used in a safe and sanitary manner, that dishes are that are clean and things that are dirty are kept separate. Again, a good sanitation method. And they even spell it out to the point where they say you must have safe disposal of leftovers. And there's always the importance of having appropriate cleaning and sanitation practices in place. So that is spelled out in the regulation. The next area that they spell out quite clearly what we're to do in retirement homes is menu planning. So according to the Retirement Home Act, we have to provide 3 meals per day, and they're to be offered at regular meal times. So it can't be 4 o'clock for dinner one day and 5 o'clock the next. The meals must be varied and change every day. The menu must be at least 3 weeks long. And the menu must always include an alternate choice at each meal. The other thing the Act says is that we are to let the residents know what their daily menu is and what their weekly options are. And this is where the dietitian comes in. The menu must be approved and have adequate nutrients, fiber, energy, be consistent with Canada's food guide, and make sure we include seasonal foods throughout the year. And the next area that the Act spells out what we're to do is meal service, the actual time when you come to the dining room and you sit down and you eat. So it says in the Act that it's not to be rushed and the residents are to be given sufficient time to eat at their own pace. It also says that the staff must be aware of the residents' diet needs, if they have any special needs or preferences. They encourage or they regulate that staff must be present and there to provide support during meal times. And for uh, in the regulations, one of the other things it says, and to the benefit of dietitians again, is that good nutrition must be offered to the residents at all times. So optimal nutrition to get optimal health. The other thing that is in the Act is training. They have made some provisions in the Act that clearly spell out that anybody working in a kitchen, in a retirement home, or serving food must have a food handler's course from the public health unit. And that's an intensive course where you learn about infection control, sanitation, proper ware washing, pots and pans, all of those kinds of things have to be in place, and people have to be trained on how to to sanitize properly and all those things, and to record consistently that these standards have been met. There are guidelines related to receiving food, your inventory, your food storage, and making sure that at no point in time food can become contaminated or hazardous. So we really watch temperature control. And these are things that your staff has learned in a food handler's course. So that's basically a quick overview of what the regulations say. So they are covering a lot of the things that are a concern to people, and they ensure that the needs of each and every person in the home are being met. So let's hear directly from Mary Beth about food and nutrition at Seasons Retirement Communities.
Thanks, Carol. It's so interesting, and hopefully some of this information that Carol provided regarding the regulations, give you that comfort and also, that knowledge and understanding that we do follow a lot of those guidelines. So at Seasons, we not only meet Retirement Home Act regulations, but we really understand that food is an important deciding factor when residents choose to come and live with us at Seasons. A lot of the times people think that, or they have this perception that a retirement home food is boring, bland, maybe even boxed. The truth is, at Seasons, our food is well balanced and healthy without compromising taste and presentation. We're really working to change that old perception by creating dishes that are fresh, locally sourced, and of course, delicious. While we use standardized recipes at Seasons to ensure quality and consistency, we've adopted a community based focused menu, really sensitive to the culture and the residents that live in each home. All of our meals are prepared in house by skilled chef and their teams who really strive and take a lot of pride to create dishes that they know our residents will love and enjoy. And at Seasons, your feedback is always welcome and encouraged. That's really important part of our community. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about the dining service teams, and they are trained and skilled in food preparation and service, sanitation, and as Carol mentioned too, safety practices. Yet their goal is not only to bring you your food, but to form a relationship with you and connect with you and make that experience positive, enjoyable, fun. There's nothing better than, of course, enjoying a really good meal with good friends, served by caring, hospitable staff members that love and that know you. So, with the RHRA regulations or the Retirement Home Act, as just to be clear on that, they tell us what's expected in terms of menus and meal service by outlining minimal expectations. At Seasons, we take a lot of pride on exceeding those expectations, which includes, so we'll talk a little bit about the 5 week menu rotation with choices once again that's suited to each home or community. We offer a lighter fare style of food in the spring and summer, and of course, that wholesome comfort, stick to your rib food in the fall and the winter that we all crave and desire. Breakfast includes a continental as well as a la carte options. Our lunch entree, or our lunch, excuse me, includes a main entree, including a variety of soup and sandwich options. And our dinner includes soup, a salad, an entree, once again with multiple side options. And also for our entrees, there's a 5 to 7 choice option. If you're not feeling what's on the featured item menu that evening, or you had a big lunch and you wanted to have a lighter supper, you also have an alternative choice. At Seasons, we have a 24-hour bistro that offers complimentary coffee and tea, fresh fruit, and of course, some sweet treats and baked goods to enjoy. If you prefer vegetarian options, as Carol mentioned, plant-based protein options are really important now. That definitely can be accommodated at Seasons. And of course, if you have some special medical needs, such as diabetes, we can help you with portion control and offer you dessert choices that are lower in sugar. Our menu at Seasons is always available, posted in the dining room. It's available in a paper copy, of course, through concierge, and we have a in-house communication system called Cubico, where you can see what's on the menu for, and your family as well can see what's on the menu for the day and also for the week. So we really believe at Seasons that food brings the community together. It's such an important part of who we are and what's important to you when you're looking for a retirement community. We often include food-focused events and celebrations on the monthly calendar. Once again, of course, at this time, following local COVID restrictions, but we encourage the residents to participate, fun events, special drinks, and surprises throughout the days. And residents can even lead workshops based on their talents. We have a lot of talented residents in our communities that offer all kinds of painting, chocolate making. So there's so much talent and willingness to share. And always remember too, when we're able, Seasons offer spaces that our residents can reserve to host events or gatherings for special occasions. So I wanted to share a little bit about one of our partners, um, who we call Cisco. We really understand the importance of knowing where your food comes from. And this is why we partner with Cisco. Cisco is a well known American food service distributor. No, I should say North American, not American. My apologies. And Cisco is the virtual grocery store for Seasons and all of Seasons communities in Ontario and Alberta. Cisco works with local suppliers to get the best goods possible, including locally sourced foods, farm to table, fresh produce, and of course, seasonal options that we all enjoy. And additionally, Carol has a partnership with Cisco where Seasons Care Dietitian Network provides support in their state of the art menu development program, education, and consultation. So feel good. We are all in good hands. So Carol's now going to just share some final thoughts on today's presentation.
Yeah, thanks, Mary Beth. I really want to thank everybody for this opportunity to have been here. I hope the information I shared with you today helps you better understand just three things. If you can take away three things, um, how to maximize your health through good nutrition. Just keep it simple. Kay's Food Guide will get you there. Um, I want you to remember that there is attention to detail at the season's retirement communities. They are really taking the Home Act and taking it up a level. I live down the street from Seasons Retirement Community in Bell River, Ontario, and there's constantly events going on. Well, there was pre-COVID that sounded interesting and intriguing and made me hungry when I drove by. And I wanted to make sure that you knew that Seasons Retirement Community and Seasons Care Dietitian Network are really committed to making sure your needs are met, and not only met, but exceeded. That's always been our philosophy. So we want to thank you. I want to thank you for having me here today. I wish I could have been with you personally, but again, please don't hesitate to reach out to my company, Seasons Care Dietitian Network. We're always just an email away. And we will get back to you. We have a monthly newsletter that we'd love to share with you. So if you go to seasonscare.com on the internet, you can sign up today. And I hope my little presentation was upbeat, informative, and that left you in a good mood and feeling like, those of you that didn't know something now do know it and feel comfortable in the choices you're making. So I wish I could be with you. I wish we were together. I would have brought you treats and we would have had a good time. But for now, thank you for this opportunity. And I look forward to your questions.
It. Thank you so much for walking us through these important nutritional guidelines and, to ensure that we're eating the best food for optimal results. So I know we have a few questions that are popping up. So one question from Vicky, she's asking, can a resident ask for a specific item or make a suggestion to put something that they like on the menu for everyone? I'm going to take that one, Carol, because I think it sounds like a Seasons question. Yes, residents can always make suggestions for a specific item. That's what makes our community, and those options to share those ideas and recipes with our team. And we also have family council meetings that you can share those ideas. That's really important about who we are and what we do at Seasons, because we want it to feel like home, and make sure that you're enjoying those special food items that are important to you. And there's another uh, question here. Oh, Judy, thank you so much. What a beautiful comment. She's just shared that these webinars help her feel like she's already part of the Seasons community. Well, thank you so much, Judy, for that beautiful comment and feedback. That's really important to us as we continue to share our knowledge with all of you. And I hope to meet you someday, Judy, in one of our communities, or come for a visit. I welcome you. So I think we have a couple questions or some time for a couple more. Um, Carol, this one's for you. What are the most common roadblocks for good nutrition, and how does one overcome them or start to overcome them?
That's a good question, Mary Beth. And there's a lot of blocks, but I think the biggest roadblock that people are facing nowadays is the media and what we read in the media and in the news and the confusing information that's put out there. Sometimes you'll hear one thing and then you'll hear it the opposite the next day. And the best way to overcome them is, of course, is to be informed, to attend webinars like this, and to keep your whole approach to eating very simple. Uh, Good nutrition is as simple as I've outlined in today's webinar. You just need Canada's Food Guide. You need a good source of fluids, water, lots of water, and of course, always keep active. So those are the things that will keep you healthy. There's no magic answer that the media is telling you that necessarily works. Just keep it simple, enjoy your food, and enjoy the social aspect as well as the actual intake.
I think, especially when you were talking about the water and all the water and the bubbly options and
Oh,
the all the flavored waters that have no sugar but are really, really delicious.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
we
much you can do. Yeah,
it's so much. There's another fun question for you, Carol. Do
yeah.
you have a favorite superfood at this time?
Well, again, all foods to me are super because I love eating, and the scenarios that you've told me, Mary Beth, that go on at Seasons retirement communities, what's offered, and I've been to the communities, and I know the food is really good. Has made me very hungry because it's lunchtime. But what I'm really focused on right now in terms of superfood, or what my focus is, anyways, is a couple of summers ago, all my children, except for, well, I have 5 children, and 2 of them didn't get married yet, but 3 of them got married the same summer. And 2 vegetarians entered our family at that time, and then my son became vegetarian. And then I have some picky eaters. They'll eat this, they won't eat that. So it's been a really confusing time to make meals for families. And so I started really focusing on plant-based meals and plant-based foods, and I'll use things like chickpeas in casseroles and in different things, and really use plant-based foods and explore them. And I think that's fun. Like a chickpea can be used in a baked good, it can be a snack, it can be a salad. You can make it into like a filling for sandwiches, like tuna salad, but make it with chickpeas. So I've been having a lot of fun with plant-based proteins and using them more and more, and eating less and less meat. So that's been kind of my area of expertise lately, and something that I'm actually going to be speaking on in the future. So yeah, that's kind of it. Get into the plant-based and really enjoy them and try them. Try the plant-based burgers and different things like that. They're fabulous. They've come a long way in the flavor.
Yeah. And they're fun,
Yeah.
they're fun to try too.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's really interesting to incorporate those. I think we could probably go another half hour to an hour
oh,
about this conversation for sure.
yeah,
Just thank you kindly, everyone, for all your questions. But sadly, we have to say goodbye. Our time is up, and so we're going to conclude today's session. And just a huge thank you to you, Carol, for joining us um, on and leading us in this insightful presentation. And to all our guests and attendees, thank you again for joining us on our Season Speaks, a virtual series. As Judy mentioned, that she's finding it so helpful. So that's definitely always our goal, to continue to do that. And we really hope that today's session has provided you with some new takeaways or a reminder of the importance of your nutritional intake and how you can take those next steps to improve your meal choices. If you're interested in getting in touch with us or for more information to book a visit with us at Seasons, please visit our website at seasonsretirement.com. And you can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And please be sure to click like or follow to get the latest updates for our Season Speaks webinar in June. We hope to connect with you soon. Thank you again, Carol. Goodbye, everyone, and have a wonderful day and a good long weekend. Take care.